The Persian Empire created some of the most astonishing feats of engineering the world has ever seen.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down the top 10 inventions and discoveries from the land of Persia, now known as Iran.
This is part of their great history.
Iran is the oldest country in the world, with sovereignty dating back to 3200 BCE, predating even Egypt. In the 6th century BCE, Cyrus the Great merged the Median and Achaemenid empires and created the first great world empire. In 1935, King Reza Shah of the Pahlavi dynasty adopted the endonym Iran. A multiplicity of ethnicities make up the Iranian mosaic today, including a majority of Persians, as well as Azeri, Kurds, Lor, Baluch, Turkoman, and numerous others. Over the centuries, this astonishingly influential country, now officially known as the Islamic Republic of Iran, has contributed many important inventions to the world, from the sublime to the everyday. Number 10. Monotheistic Religion. Considered to be the world's oldest monotheistic religion, the prophet Zarathustra, or Zartosht in Farsi, founded Zoroastrianism 3,500 years ago in the city of Yazd in modern-day Iran. Zoroastrianism is a religion that pins good versus evil and adheres to the mantra of Humata Hukta Havarshta, which means good thoughts, good words, good deeds.
Good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. There you go. That's it.
Zoroastrianism influenced the three Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and served as the spiritual foundation of ancient Persia under the Arab conquests in the 7th century.
Satan, heaven and hell were all Zoroastrian concepts, later embraced by Christianity and Islam.
But aspects of Zoroastrianism remain in Iran to this day, including the celebration of Nowruz, or New Year, which coincides with the spring equinox.
It's a real family occasion, bringing everyone together.
Number 9. Windmills and air conditioning. European landscapes like the Netherlands famously have included windmills, but the first recorded mentions of their use date all the way back to Persia in 500 CE.
Windmills have been a part of the region's landscape and have been used throughout many centuries.
The ingenious design of vertical axis windmills harness the power of nature to grind grain and pump water, leveraging wind energy to propel agricultural output.
The windmill believed to have been erected at least 1,000 years ago.
With a design inspired by ship sails, reeds were densely woven together into paddles and then anchored to a central axis. These wind catchers drew cool air down while pushing warmer air up and out.
Number
8. Teaching hospitals. Shapur I founded the Academy of Gwandi Shapur in 221 CE at the behest of his wife, Azizaa-e Shahbanu. In the following centuries, this cultural and academic center became the first teaching hospital in the world, enabling young physicians in training to learn the ins and outs of medicine under more experienced doctors. These institutions not only provided essential medical services to communities, but served as hubs for training future generations of healthcare professionals. Another huge contribution to the history of medicine was during the Islamic Golden Age, when the Persian physician, astronomer, and philosopher Ibn Sina, known in the West as Avicenna, wrote his encyclopedia, The Canon of Medicine.
The point is, this text was so important, it was still being used around the world over 500 years later.
Number 7. Taxation System. Iran boasts one of the oldest and most sophisticated taxation systems in the world. Developed during the Achaemenid Empire around 550 BCE, the Persian Empire's financing structure funded extensive infrastructure projects, including the construction of bridges and roads like the famous Royal Road that connected Persia to modern-day Turkey.
Extending over 1,500 miles of the empire, he would call it the Royal Road.
The Shahs, or kings Cyrus I and Cambyses, commanded gifts from subjects, but it was eventually Darius I who formalized taxation through a mix of land taxes, tribute from conquered territories, and a centralized bureaucracy to collect revenues.
Today, the magnificence of the capital Susa is even found in the Bible.
Number 6. Postal Service. Cyrus the Great created the foundation of what would become Persia's postal service, Chaparkhane, to connect travel and communications between the cities of Babylon, Ecbatana, Persepolis, and Susa. Darius I further built the Persian network of roads, which were then used by riders and horse-drawn wagons to send messages. effectively creating the modern postal system.
Messages on this road? Friends next city?
Most definitely.
In fact, the United States Postal Service's neither snow nor rain nor gloom of night stays these couriers from their swift completion of their appointed rounds stems from Herodotus's description of the Persian messenger system. Quote, "Whatever the conditions, it may be snowing, raining, blazing hot, or dark, they never fail to complete their assigned journey in the fastest possible time." In later years, the Seleucid and Parthian empires further developed the postal system by capitalizing on Persia's highways, facilitating trade, diplomacy, and cultural exchange across the Silk Road and beyond. Number 5. Sulfuric acid. Part discovery and part invention, the Persian astronomer, mathematician, and geographer Abu Bakr Muhammad ibn Zakaria al-Razi first produced the king of chemicals, sulfuric acid, in the 8th century. Al-Razi extracted sulfuric acid by dry distillation of minerals with iron sulfate and copper sulfate. Metal processing and fertilizer production are just some of the uses of the chemical, and this landmark in modern chemistry potentiated multiple later scientific breakthroughs. Al-Razi would also go on to discover alcohol as well, which is decidedly ironic given the modern-day ban on alcohol in the Islamic Republic of Iran post-1979. Number 4. Algebra. During the aforementioned Islamic Golden Age, which lasted from the 7th to the 13th century CE, the Persian mathematician, astronomer, and geographer Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi developed algebra, the fundamental branch of mathematics that solves problems through equations and symbols.
His books revolutionized mathematics in the West, showing how complex problems could be broken down into simpler parts and solved.
Algebra's impact on human civilization through advances in physics and computer science cannot be overstated. In fact, the terms algebra and algorithm are derived from the Baghdad-based al-Khwarizmi's name, who thrived during the Abbasid Caliphate around 800 CE. Now that's an impressive scientific legacy.
Al-Khwarizmi's name, when Latinized in the title of the book, became algorithmi, and this is the origin of the word algorithm.
Number 3. The refrigerator. The yakhchal, or ice pit, emerged around 400 BCE. These vast egg-shaped domes with subterranean storage spaces contained enormous quantities of goods. Built with a special insulation technique using a combination of materials such as mud, clay, straw, sand, egg whites, goat's hair, and ash, these architectural breakthroughs warded off the crushing heat by using evaporative cooling techniques. Cold air entered the structure through the subterranean space and flowed through the base as its cone shape pushed heat upwards, thus enabling the domed structure to stay cooler than the outside environment. This ingenuity helped preserve food and ice from the winter season, even during the blazing heat. Many of these structures still remain standing. Number 2. Canat. Given the country's mountainous terrain and climate, ancient Iranians developed the Canat, a water management system.
It takes its name from the Semitic word meaning to dig.
This consisted of gently sloping underground channels to flow water from its source through to houses and fields via a sequence of vertical shafts, thus powering the irrigation required to build a growing empire. Supplying water to settlements in hot and dry climates, Canat spread across the imperial realm. Predating the Achaemenid era, the Canat in the city of Gonabad dates back approximately 2,700 years and provides drinking and agricultural water to its citizens to this day. These systems remain commonplace in Asia, Africa, and the Americas. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Polo. Invented more than 2,500 years ago as a training exercise for cavalry.
Many Iranians say polo, or chogun as they call it here, originated in ancient Persia.
Animation. Millennia-old moving images on a pottery vessel in Shahr-e-Sukhte, Iran's burnt city. Backgammon. The ancient Persian game called senet gradually evolved into modern backgammon. Lute. This precursor to the modern guitar traces its origins back to the 3rd century CE. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Human rights. Despite the Islamic Republic of Iran's many documented human rights abuses, Iran played a crucial historical role in the development of human rights.
This is probably the first moment in history that we know of a ruler thinking about how he's going to manage a multicultural state.
Created in 534 BCE and predating the Magna Carta by roughly 1700 years, the Cyrus cylinder is broadly recognized as the world's first charter of human rights. Built out of clay, the canister, inscribed in Akkadian cuneiform script, was discovered in the ruins of Babylon in Mesopotamia in 1879 and kept in the British Museum in London. After freeing the slaves, giving conquered people the right to choose their own religion, and establishing racial equality, Cyrus defined his ideas of justice, recording them in the cuneiform script in the baked clay cylinder known as the Cyrus cylinder. The Declaration has been translated into all 6 official languages of the United Nations, and its provisions mirror the first 4 articles of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
It became the great model of how to run an empire of dizzying diversity.
While today Iran faces its share of socio-economic challenges, rooted in the nation's geopolitical importance to countries around the world, nothing can take away the Iranian people's contributions to the arts and sciences, and its place as a hub of innovation and advancement.
More than 2,500 years later, these immense towers stand as testament to the soaring heights this now forgotten empire once reached.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.